I want to go on and tell you, we were talking about things that changed. I was a deputy on the road for about 10 years. Every vehicle that I stopped, I assumed had a gun in it. Most of them I could see from the back of it because it was a pickup truck, had a rifle on the bottom and a shotgun on the top. That is the same truck that my family took me to school on. There again, nothing happened. And let me tell you, if it was that way today, and I happened to be picking up my grandchild, and somebody that had a gun using it the wrong way, I could show you what a gun in the back of a pickup truck would do.
Yeah, here.
So people, guns in the right place do the right thing.
Yeah. The question he alluded to is in New Orleans during Katrina, the National Guard, the military was there taking law-abiding citizens' guns who were there protecting their property from the looters. And I was down there doing storm cleanup. The looters were out of control before the storm. After the storm, it just got worse. So would you allow in your county a foreign entity other than your sheriff's agency or police department to come in and take the people's guns away during what the government or somebody declares as a national emergency? That's the question he asked, and that's what we want to know, is will you allow that to happen in any of your counties?
Okay, let me repeat the question. The question was, if a situation happens and a foreign or different agency comes into our county and makes a gun ruling that there can't be any guns or the guns are taken up by the law-abiding citizens, would we as sheriffs allow that? And there again, I want to see if any of y'all got a good answer at this time. You know, I've never been faced with that. And,
there's no law that allowed it to happen.
okay, well see, that's where we've been. If it's a law and we've got it enforced, but you know, if an emergency comes and we do our homework before someone else comes in, we'll have, you know, the answer. But I could not tell you without knowing there wasn't a law. Okay?
So the question is, the Second Amendment is in place sometimes by that statement. The Second Amendment, you have the right to bear arms sometimes. And that's kind of what we're here about. We want to define the sometimes, because it's already happened in this country. We want to understand the sometimes.
Yeah, let me try this, because that was one of the questions I had written down.
Precedent has been made.
Question. This is a Second Amendment meeting tonight. He's asked to me a very valid question. Can you or a government entity or someone say we have an emergency? The emergency has to be defined, I realize that. To the point where you will let the Second Amendment be overridden and you're going to come and get my gun? What's an emergency that would allow you to come and get my gun? And I don't know of one. Now, but they're saying, and I've heard this, that happened at Katrina. I don't know, but I understood it happened, what the law was or whatever, but I don't think in the great state of North Carolina, I can't think of an emergency. You guys have to qualify that, where you're going to come and get my gun. I think we can all explain to you. It might be hard to do. I can't think of an emergency. It's a Second Amendment right.
And you know, as I stated earlier, I don't know all the answers, and I can find that out through the North Carolina Sheriff's Association, the National Sheriff's Association. But let me tell you what Sheriff Winters just said. He's from Eastern North Carolina. He went through Floyd, Fran, Bonnie, and several other things, and he never once thought about going to get anybody's guns. And I can tell you from the emergencies that I've been through, guns of any kind won't on my mind at that particular time. Protecting your property, your children, and the well-being of everybody came first. And we got to prioritize this stuff, people. But I will find an answer out where our Sheriff's Association stand on that issue tomorrow morning.
Your council allow you to collect guns, even if it was a law that you had the right to do it. That's the question we want to know.
Yes or no?
Allow you to come get our guns, even if it was a law. That's what we're here for.
Let me just say, you can what if anything, and I think that's where we're going with this. Like I said earlier, we have to abide by the Constitution of both the United States and the state of North Carolina. Right. That's where I don't see it happening, and the answer is, I don't know the good answer. I mean, like I say, you can what if anything. Your freedom of speech. You're not always protected on freedom of speech. As John told me today, he says if you're in a theater and you holler fire, and there's no fire and everybody starts running out and somebody gets hurt, you're going to be liable. So that don't mean everything is in black and white. So, but folks, I don't see that happening. I know what you're saying. I don't understand. I didn't know that. I honestly didn't. But I can tell you this. I don't think there's a sheriff in North Carolina that wouldn't put up a fight unless there's some kind of emergency that you don't know about or I don't know about. And I mean, I can't sit here and tell you, I referee college basketball. I'm not going to satisfy all of you. And I taught college basketball referees. And they ask you if you hit the string and all this stuff, you know, we'll stand here tonight and what if everything. I don't know the clear answer to that. I've never heard of it. But as he said, we'll try to find out. But I don't see us going and picking up guns.
Sheriff Harrison,
Yes.
I'm a North Carolina concealed carry firearms instructor, so I do know something of the law. What I'm referring to is back during Katrina, where the police department, not the National Guard, went home to home seizing people's firearms. That is a blatant violation of the Second Amendment rights of the people of Louisiana. Now, the question is, will they do that in North Carolina? Under current HB 650 that passed in December 2011, that provision was in there, Section E. I just had a class the other day. October 1st, that provision was removed, that the governor cannot enforce or enact a law to seize firearms during a state of emergency. So, that's been taken off the books October 1st, 2012. What we're trying to find out is if another Katrina event happened in this area and law enforcement was told to seize the firearms, even though it just happened in Louisiana, that was a clear violation of the Second Amendment rights. How could they do that then when it was a violation of Second Amendment rights? And if that happened then, what would keep them from doing it again?
That was the answer, but it's going to be
I honestly don't know. Let me, John, you want to?
I want to hear what you say.
I'm the sheriff's lawyer, and I'm here to help you. All right. What you say is true. In North Carolina, the courts have overturned and done away with, apparently, I don't have the case in front of me, though, the governor's right or local rights to declare a state of emergency and say you can't carry your weapons. That's in North Carolina. We don't speak for Louisiana. I don't know what the law is in Louisiana. We're all believers in the fundamental rights in the Second Amendment, are we? Yes. Okay.